Israel is facing many instabilities. The recent horrific war with Hamas is an example. But if we stay calm and let God's grace enlighten and guide us, we will surely find the answer. Because everything that has happened and is happening has been accorded to the Bible prophecy. Before we find out what those prophecies are, try to answer this question, which is also a hint for what I am about to tell you. The question is, according to the Bible, which two brothers are associated with the conflict in the Middle East? A. Jacob and Esau. B. Isaac and Ishmael. C. David and Goliath. D. Moses and Aaron. Time to think. The correct answer is letter B. Isaac and Ishmael are brothers. One was chosen by God, and one was not. This caused them to go on two different paths, which was the premise for the wars that have occurred with the Israelites from ancient times until now. Please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Every interaction helps us spread God's words even further. The first Bible fact is that this conflict that we see going on in the Middle East has existed from the beginning of the Bible days through the presence of Isaac and Ishmael. They represent different paths in God's plan. Isaac was the son of Abraham and Sarah, and he was born to them miraculously in their old age. God chose Isaac as part of his covenant with Abraham to be the heir of the promises, which included the land of Canaan and numerous descendants. Ishmael was the son of Abraham and Hagar, Sarah's maidservant. He was born because Sarah and Abraham doubted God's promise of a son and took matters into their own hands. When Ishmael was born, the angel of the Lord said to Ishmael's mom, "Behold, you are pregnant and shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has listened to your affliction. He shall be a wild donkey of a man, his hand against everyone and everyone's hand against him, and he shall dwell over against all his kinsmen." Although God blessed Ishmael and promised to make him the father of a great nation, he was not the chosen heir of the covenant. His descendants are often associated with the Arab peoples. Muhammad, who founded the Islamic faith, was a descendant of Ishmael. The prophecies for the two ancestral lines have truly played out. Islamic Arab nations have consistently engaged in conflicts against the people of Israel, God's people. They have led the Israelites into exile, subjected them to slavery, and caused the Jewish nation to scatter far and wide. Another thing, the demon prince of the land of Persia is mentioned in the book of Daniel. The prophet Daniel fasts and prays for understanding and guidance when the Jews were in captivity in Babylon. After several weeks of fervent prayer and fasting, an angelic being appears to him. The angel explains that he was dispatched from heaven in response to Daniel's prayers. However, the angel informs Daniel that he had been delayed in reaching him due to opposition from the Prince of Persia. The Prince of Persia is described as an adversary who sought to hinder the angel's progress and delivery of the message to Daniel. This interference led to a delay in answering Daniel's prayer. And that demon spirit is still in the earth. It's Iran. They are behind Hamas. They want to destroy Israel. They want to delete Jewish. The second Bible fact about the Israel war is God's love for Israel. The Bible mentions that Israel will not have peaceful days, but it also acknowledges that, despite being a small nation amidst hostile forces, Israel has consistently received God's grace and divine protection. God called Israel, "my beloved child." God had a special plan for the people whom he selectively chose for his promised land. Israel is the only nation in the entire Middle East that placed its trust solely in God. And it shall happen in that day that I will make Jerusalem a very heavy stone for all peoples. All who would heave it away will surely be cut in pieces, though all nations of the earth are gathered against it. In that day, says the Lord, I will strike every horse with confusion and its rider with madness. I will open my eyes on the house of Judah and will strike every horse of the peoples with blindness. The Lord has chosen Jerusalem. For the Lord has chosen Zion. He has desired it for his habitation. This is my resting place forever. Here I will dwell, for I have desired it. No one can take the Jews out of the land of Israel. The Bible prophesied this when Israel was reborn as a nation in 1948. That is the reborn of fig tree, a type of Israel. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. It also fulfilled this prophecy. And I will bring my people Israel back from exile. They will rebuild the ruined cities and live in them. They will plant vineyards and drink their wine. They will make gardens and eat their fruit. I will plant Israel in their own land, never again to be uprooted from the land I have given them, says the Lord your God. These nations that are at war with Israel are putting themselves in a difficult position, like they are using their hands to punch a solid rock. There are going to be many wars in Israel that were prophesied. But don't be afraid. Israel will prevail. No matter what happens, God will still protect his people. No one and nothing will be able to uproot the Jews from the land of Israel ever again. Those who bless Israel, God will bless. Those who curse her, he will curse. The third Bible fact about the Israel war is Hamas is actually in the Bible. The word for violence and wickedness in the Bible just happens to be the same as the name of the Muslim terror group, Hamas. Of course, they are different languages, so it's not the same thing exactly, but nonetheless, a fitting coincidence. The first mention of the Hebrew word Hamas appears in the story of Noah. So the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heavens, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God. And Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. God was ready to wipe out the evil that had filled the earth. We were supposed to be fruitful and multiply, to fill the earth and subdue it. But instead, mankind filled the earth with violence. Instead of bearing life as we were supposed to, people were stealing, killing, and destroying. Except Noah. God didn't wipe out Noah for his sin, but extended grace to him, considering him righteous on account of his faith. But something had to be blotted out. Wickedness and violence had to go. God punished humanity's moral decay with a great flood. The waters rose higher than the highest mountains. It rained for 40 days and nights, and the waters continued to rise for 150 days. God wiped the slate clean and started again, effectively recreating the heavens and the earth and making a new start. But until now, humanity is constantly in sin and rebellion against God, disobeying him and defying his ways. Violence and wickedness has been found in abundance in every generation, in every corner of the earth pretty much. No nation can point the finger at another in accusation without thinking about the travesties that have taken place at the hands of their own people, as if their own nation is without sin. No one should criticize another country without thinking about the crimes committed on the soil they're standing on. Our only hope is for God to intervene. He's going to have to wipe it all out and start all over again. And that's exactly what will happen. This earth will one day be wiped out for good, and another will be established in its place. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former things shall not be remembered or come into mind. And we have to prepare for his second coming. In this time, he's not coming in grace. He's coming to execute judgment upon mankind. It's going to be the great and terrible day of the Lord when Jesus is coming to execute judgment. When he died on the cross, God took on all human sins. He bore the judgment of Father and the wrath in our place. But with greedy and selfish nature, humans continue to do wrong, and now is the time to be punished. But you know, God loved you so much. Instead of wiping out sinners or the sinful world, God made a way for sin itself to be removed and wiped away. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. Until Jesus returns to execute judgment, we are still living in that time of God's grace. Today is your day to make peace with God. Don't delay another moment. We are seeing the signs of the times. Father could return at any time. You need to live every day ready. If you want to make sure that you're at peace with God and you're ready for the second coming of Christ, please pray with us. Father, please forgive my sins. Jesus, come into my life. I appreciate everything you have done for me. I've received the price you paid. I believe you died for me, that you rose again for me, and that you will return for me. In your mighty name I pray.